What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Geek Out Room podcast. Don't forget you can watch our episodes over on the Sauceless Entertainment YouTube channel. You can also listen to our episodes over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just type in the Geek Out Room podcast and you should find us. Today I'm going to talk about anime that I don't think I've ever talked about with that many people because not many people have watched it. It's not like some low key anime, but it's just one that a lot of my friends just don't watch or haven't watched. And it's ReZero. Now, ReZero, the latest season, I want to say season 4. The latest season's out, and we will be getting into spoilers here. So if you haven't seen the first 3 episodes of ReZero, this latest season, stop here, go watch them, and then come back. Now, if you have no idea what ReZero is, let me summarize it for you. Basically, ReZero is this dude gets hit by a truck, gets reincarnated to a different world where he has powers that he can die and then he goes back in time to a point in which he died. That's basically the summarization without spoiling a lot of stuff. There's witches, there's knights. It's a interesting story with a lot of lore that I feel like we haven't scratched the surface of. So, fast forwarding now to the latest season. It's April 2026. We're in the latest season. And last season, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a big fan of ReZero. I thought over the last like couple se I guess over the last like couple episodes of the last season and the season before that, it lost me in some ways because I feel the strength of ReZero was this mystery about this witch cult, right? And the witches, and you have these princesses, and you have these knights. You just have a world with monsters and powers and magic and all this kind of stuff. But at the root of it all is Subaru, the main character, and I felt like what made it really strong is the horror aspect of ReZero along with the mystery. It felt like a horror mystery, and it got way away from that. And not that that is a problem, not that the series suffers because of it to the point where it's unwatchable, but definitely became like an action adventure at one point for a little too long. I felt like it really kind of strayed a little too far from the horror mystery aspect. Now, there are iconic episodes. I mean, iconic episodes every season. I'm not gonna lie, except last season. Last season, I felt it felt a little stale. It was a very important season with a lot of important lore for individual characters, for sure. And we did see a huge step up from Subaru in terms of development and such like that. But it just felt like each season sometimes feels a little too drastically different from the previous season, in my opinion. In my opinion, and because and I will say it could be because I fell in love with the horror mystery aspect of ReZero. That could be what it is because it definitely goes away from that. With that being said, I love the series. And this recent season that just dropped, I didn't even know it dropped. I had no idea it dropped. The first 3 episodes, dude, watched it. Love it. ReZero is back in my opinion. In my opinion. For a lot of people, it never went anywhere. For me, it's back. These 3 episodes brings back that horror mystery that I fell in love with season 1 and like half of season 2. This man, it brings back this type of dread whereas like Subaru's going through it and you have no idea like how he's going to like how are you going to get out of this, because this whole death loop thing is always interesting because it's like, okay, how is he going to overcome this death loop? And even though it's a theme that happens every season, the last season anyway, it felt very different because they were engaged in the actual battle. So I get it. It was very different circumstance. That season's different, but that horror mystery element from his death loops is really interesting. It's intriguing because it's horrifying. It can be very bloody and scary, gory and scary, but it's also like, how's he going to overcome this? Because he's also getting traumatized as he dies. It's very traumatizing for him. So it's like, how's he going to overcome this? how's he going to battle this fear? Because one thing I like about this franchise, the main character for the most part is pretty normal. He has no type of real fighting capabilities. He's not some badass that'll just overpower whoever he fights. So he has to rely on everyone around him without telling them necessarily that he has these death loops, that he dies and then gets basically, restart from last save point basically. Now I know that was because of basically a gag order that he had because of the witches. I forgot if he got rid of that or not, but in this season he's not telling them still. So I think it still applies. I forgot they broke that though. It's been a long time because these seasons obviously are a couple of years in between these seasons. So it's been a long time since I rewatched ReZero. But with that being said, this season, these first 3 episodes, phenomenal, dude, because it picks up right where last season left off. Right where last season left off. And they immediately go like, okay, we gotta like fix things because there's people who are forgotten about, right? Like Rem, and we have to go fix that. We have to go fix all these things, and so we have to go to this on this journey to this like temple in this desert that you can't get to. You know what I mean? And so they gear up with some party, and they're like, hey, we're going. And one is nice to get back to the Rem thing because I get it. They it's not like the story forgot about her. The story definitely did not forget about her. It just feels really good to go back. I never thought I would miss the mansion, miss all of them, and like we're back to that. And okay, we need to go do this to fix what Gluttony did. Let's go do this. And Subaru, I'm fast forwarding a little bit here, but Subaru basically gets sniped. Eventually, I'm going all the way over there to his death loops. They're going. They find a way to break this basically a domain expansion. They break through, and Subaru gets sniped. And that right there lets me know the season's going somewhere. And the reason why it was super exciting to see, besides just the idea of the death loop, is that it's the mystery of like who shot him, what shot him, how. I mean, they're so far from this tower, and if the person can snipe Subaru from way over there, they're in a desert where there's no cover. I mean, what is there to do? So it's like again, it's that stuff is like those mystery of like there's it's not someone you can just overpower. It's not something you can just power of friendship it. Like you gotta really think. You gotta get really creative. It's gonna take a couple of deaths for him to get through it. Because again, he's a normal guy, so these deaths shake him. He's not numb to it. He's shaken. All right, and so it's super interesting, especially since he doesn't even know what happened to him the first time, because all he sees is a blink of light, and then he's dead. I know in anime time for us watching, it looks like there's a lot of time to process this, but no, it's like imagine someone just snapped, and that's the last thing you saw, bro. Like as like faster than a snap, you're already dead. Like that's how it actually is. So that was super interesting. Them eventually going down that maze and then dealing with whatever like they start going down this under the sand dunes, and they're traveling, and you get this situation where they start turning on each other. It's just like that horror aspect, dude. That's what I miss about ReZero. That's what I miss the horror aspect that makes you go like, man, this is really bloody but all and gory, but also like it's not, I don't even know if you want to say it's scary. It's not scary to me. It's more of a thriller to me in terms of how I digest it. But for a lot of people, it could be a horror, dude. You have all these people that have to band together, but they're turning on each other. You don't know these death loops are happening. You don't know why it's happening. Who's targeting them? It's such a there's all these pieces, and it's always nice that in beginning of the season you have these. It's always set up where there's these different factions or these different enemies, or there's just a situation they have to tackle. And then as the season goes on, then it's like, okay, that's who this is. Like that's who this is. That's how we can save. That's how we can save this person. And Subaru, as he goes further, his death loops don't go as far back, which is very interesting. So like the next time he dies again, it could be way. I mean, yeah, because his I forgot what he calls his BC rise. bit his head off. And so instead of going all the way back, he starts like right when he fell down. So his save points change. And that's always interesting. So yeah, man, it's just the idea because like they're turning on each other, but we still don't know why they did. We don't know if something, if just like lack of hunger and water did it. If there's something in the witch's miasma, like actually no, I think they did talk about the witch's miasma. I think they did talk about the witch's miasma, but I digress. It's just always interesting to see like how they're gonna get out of the situation, what's happening, and I think that's what's been missing from ReZero for a while because there is a couple. I think like not even my friends, like a friend of my friend. Happy we were going somewhere. I think we're going hiking or something, and the friend he brought just happened to like ReZero. So we were talking about ReZero, and at that time it was the last season, and we were both talking about what last season just felt kind of weird. It felt kind of like just weird to us. We didn't like it as much, and we are talking about it. And at the time, I just didn't know why I didn't like it because I really tuned into ReZero, dude. I cannot wait for when ReZero comes back every other year or whatever. And we were talking about it, and I was just like, man, like I don't know what it is about ReZero. Like I just didn't like. I just not dig that season. And now I finally know after seeing like these 3 episodes especially, like it is that beautiful horror mystery aspect that separates it from its peers. There's a lot of different horror anime out there. There's a lot of different mystery detective animes out there, but a lot of them don't have this mystical lore with it. You know, these unique set of characters with it, or have a main character that's not some genius or some powerhouse. A main character that really has to rely on other characters around him. And when you do something like that, you best have a good cast of characters that are unique, not only in personality, but character design, and also have a very interesting story to tell with a very interesting world and a set of powers. And I really do think ReZero does that very well with his characters because the cast of characters weren't interesting, and because Subaru himself is not interesting. What's happening to him is, but him as a character is not the most interesting character in the show. So to do that, you need a strong cast of characters that are really good and can interact seamlessly with the main character. And I feel like they do that really well with ReZero, man. And this season, the first 3 episodes, I'm telling you, is gas. It's really good, and I hope they keep it up, man. I hope there's more lore to discover. I hope we get Rem back at the end of the season. Um, yeah, man. It's so interesting. I mean, even the acting in these episodes, dude. To see how deranged Subaru and all of them get, and how tired that each other they are, and trying to deal with these situations, and like the respect he's garnered from his fellow teammates or fellow friends throughout the seasons, now starting to pay dividends for him, is super sick. And I'm just really stoked for this season, man. Stoked enough to make an episode about it. Like it's less about review the episodes and just more about like I'm just hype, dude, that ReZero's back. I'm hyped that they're giving us, or at least giving me, what I want. That's all I can say. At the end of the day, I want to obviously enjoy it. People who have enjoyed the whole time seamlessly, good for you. I'm not saying the show was bad at any point. It just started to lose me at a certain point. But this season is really fire. Like it is super sick. I'm excited to see the rest of it, man. I cannot wait for the 4th episode. So, have you been watching ReZero? Um, are you tuned into this season, man? If you're tuned into this season, let me know what your favorite moment of the season. So I know it's only 3 episodes, but let me know what you think of the season so far. Let me know if I'm tripping, right? Because a lot of people who probably like, yo, what are you talking about with this horror mystery aspect shit? Like, what are you talking about? I just think in my how I perceive the show, how I digest the show, that's what's been missing the last season for me. Not that they didn't have blood and gore last season. I don't know. There was great stuff. There was great stuff last season. Like I said, I'm not saying this last season was trash. It just something about last season just didn't appeal to me, to be honest with you. But this one seems pretty sick. So like, comment, subscribe, and share. See you on the next one. Keep geeking out. Peace.